everyone, this is Charles Walhingford back again with another watch video, and this is my new chronograph challenge. Now the reason why I did this video is because of one of my longtime viewers, subscribers, and biggest critics, Santiago Del Rio. Santiago put a comment on my Grand Seiko spring drive ceramic chronograph video. Here's the quote right here. Now, he talked about the Daytona. I'm throwing the Daytona out. It's not going to be in the competition. The reason why I'm not going to include the Daytona in the competition, because I know the Daytona would win. It would. For all the categories here, I have to admit the Daytona is going to win. I took out the Daytona and I installed a watch I think would be a worthy opponent of the Grand Seiko spring drive ceramic, black ceramic that is, chronograph. And that is the Omega Speedmaster Darkside of the Moon. The other competitor is the Breguet Type XXI. Alright, we have 4 categories. Category number 1 is beauty and artistry. Number 2, for you watch nerds, the movement. Number 3 is the resale value. Number 4, test of time. Test of time, time on the wrist, and also flexibility. Okay, let's go over the point scale. First place, you get 3 points. Second place, 2 points. And dead last, number 3, you get 1 point. And they will all be tallied at the end. So let's get started with the aesthetics and the artistry. How good the watch really looks. Again, subjective, but I do take into account what others have said about these watches. Number 3, with 1 point, we're gonna have the Grand Seiko Spring Drive. The Grand Seiko Spring Drive, not to say it's ugly or it's not attractive, it's very attractive, but if you want to split hairs, you want to have this competition, the dial is too busy. Also, it's 46 millimeters. 46 millimeters is somewhat of a turn off. It's just too big. Number 2, for 2 points, the Omega Darkside of the Moon. This watch is absolutely beautiful. Unlike the Grand Seiko, it's not very busy, and it's not just plain either, with it being having a tachymeter and things like that. I think that adds a little bit of spice to the watch. A lot of us like sports watches, and this is a perfect sports watch. The reason why it received number 2 rather than first place is because the Breguet is a sport watch that is elegant, and to do that in a watch, that's something, that's amazing. That's very difficult, and I can't help but to give that the number 1, the Breguet. Elegant and sport watch. All right, here we go. Movement. Omega has number 3, last place. Just listen to me. They have a fine in-house movement. Innovative coaxial movement for this chronograph watch. Absolutely. And it has 60-hour power reserve. But that's not enough for this competition. Number 2, the Breguet not only has a really nice movement, but it's a flyback. Very complicated. Number 2, the hands. And the second counter, the minute counter, are still on the same pin or centered in the middle of the watch. Usually it's a subsidiary. This is not easy to do. To do all these things and be a flyback, very difficult, and it is amazing to watch, because looking at the movement should be just as fun or enticing as looking at the beauty of the dial. And number 1 is the Grand Seiko. Grand Seiko Spring Drive, we all know that 9R movement. No one can compare to it. Yes, Omega is COSC certified, and the Breguet, that movement is absolutely complicated. But the Grand Seiko Spring Drive not only has that 9R movement that has a deviation of 1 second plus or minus in a day, but it also has a GMT. It also has a power indicator, a power reserve indicator, and the power reserve is 72 hours. That is amazing. You got to give it its due. Resale value is the next category, and it's for people who are practical. This watch collecting is practical. If you're a watch collector, you're doing something practical. Your jewelry has a job. Resale value number 3 with 1 point, Breguet. Breguet is notorious, and they follow suit with this watch, notorious for having horrible resale value. I have to tell you, buying this watch is almost a guarantee you're going to take a bath. Anywhere from 50 to 60% of a loss if you buy it brand new. The resale value is absolutely horrible. I've seen it's a regular price $13,000 plus. I've seen it as low as $6,000. Number 2, the Grand Seiko. Now the Grand Seiko is so new that it's hard to find data and information on how much this watch costs on the resale market, on the pre-owned market, because it's brand new. It's hard to find pre-owned. But compared to its predecessors, you will lose anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 possibly. I believe that the predecessors to this watch were ugly and nobody wants them. I haven't heard anybody talk the praises of any of those chronographs. Saying that, you still possibly, with other spring drives, lose $2,000 to $4,000. That's not bad, but it's much better than half. Number 1, Omega. You will take a small hit, again, of $2,000 or $4,000, but the following of Omega Speedmaster is absolutely legendary. Everybody loves the Speedmaster, or if you don't love the original Speedmaster like me, I don't love the original Speedmaster, but I love the broad arrow. I love these sides of the moon. The Speedmaster will be able to sell. Matter of fact, I bought a Omega Speedmaster reduced, and I sold it for the same price I bought it for. So I didn't take a bath at all. That's the big thing. Resale value matters, and Omega is number 1 with resale value. Last category, test of time, time on the wrist, flexibility. All these things come into play when you're spending a good amount of money. For most of us, $10,000 plus for a watch is quite expensive. And if it's going to be quite expensive, then it better do its job in many facets. So these watches not only need to look good, they need to look good in any situation. Any situation far as dress or far as time. So number three is the Grand Seiko. The Grand Seiko, with the 46 millimeters, I think that will cause a problem. I can't see watches being large forever. And as we know, 40 millimeters is a sweet spot where it's acceptable from many people. 40 millimeters is very acceptable. All these watches are larger than 40 millimeters. But 46 is just too big. Number 2, the Breguet. Breguet, I believe, can last and hold the test of time, being the smallest diameter for this case at 42 millimeters. But I believe because of the ceramic, it's not going to look good as long. I don't believe it's going to look good or brand new and nice. And some people like to have that worn look, that look of of the time coming down on the watch. I believe that because it doesn't have any ceramic on it, scratches will come and the watch won't look as good forever. The Omega is number one. Number one, why? Because the Omega Speedmaster already has stood the test of time. This current rendition is ceramic, so ceramic will allow the watch to look nice longer. But the 44 millimeter larger case may cause some problems, maybe down the line, but again, the Omega has already stood the test of time. All right, guys, let's get the grand total. Coming in last place is the Grand Seiko. Unfortunately, Mr. Del Rio might be right. Breguet is number 2 with 8 points. I love that watch, but just keep in mind, resale value absolutely horrendous. And number 1 is the Speedmaster, Darkside of the Moon. I checked this watch out quite a few times, and it was one of the highlights of my trip to New York for Watch Week 2016, Madison Avenue. I think that might be the next watch, if I have the money. All right, everyone, I hope you like this video. If you have anything to comment, please, by all means, comment. And if you disagree, please just put why you don't agree. There's nothing wrong with that. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. I'm Charles Walhingford. This is how I would spend my money.